Welcome back to the Life Endurance Podcast, where we study methods of unlocking your true potential in the greatest endurance race we all partake in, life. Back in episode 12, we talked about why it is so important to control your inner circle. If you're not familiar with the concept, please give that episode a listen first. So now that you've listened to episode 12 and taken the advice to heart, you've eliminated the negative influences in your life. But depending on your circumstances, you may be running into the problem that I have struggled with the most. Not having anyone to bring into the circle. If you have big goals that you are serious about, you are a rare person, and therefore other people like you are also rare. It's hard to find others worth including in your inner circle, and when you hit that point, things become even more lonely. While it's not a complete solution to the problem, you can supplement your inner circle in the meantime. So what do I mean by this? Even though you are rare, there are also plenty of people who have done what you want to do and are where you want to go. And with the power of the internet, many of those people have content online. It's not ideal compared to having a kick-ass inner circle of real people around you, but it can make a significant difference. And this is how I applied this over the last few years. The first instance of flooding myself with online content that aligned with my goals, I was working a job I no longer enjoyed, had no free time, had put on 40 pounds, was frustrated and angry all the time, and ultimately knew I was holding myself back. I started listening to the HWMF podcast, which has a main theme of not wasting your time once you know something isn't serving you, and to make the change now. At that point, risk was rarely a word in my vocabulary. It was peak pandemic time, aka the hiring world was a total shit show, and if I decided to stay another 7 months or so, I could stand to increase my bank account quite a bit more than if I switched jobs now. But I had to be real with myself. I hated going into work every day and did not feel like myself. It came down to the money or my health over the next 7 months. I chose my health, and I am thankful for that. I switched jobs, lost 25 pounds in 2 months, and started training for my first Ironman. Next came a new kind of loneliness and a year-long journey of reprogramming my brain. At my previous job, I worked so much I wasn't going to have much of a social life anyway, but now I had free time, and I also had big goals. At the time, I was still in the corporate path mindset, but was starting to feel I was meant to do bigger and more difficult ventures on my own. The idea of going out on my own for business and putting myself out there to the degree necessary to even attempt that was against all of my typical instincts. I was never one to crave attention and never one to risk my money. I also had no one around me that would fit into the category of pushing my sled with me, to call back to episode 12. In order to reduce the amount of resistance towards my goals on a mental and social level, I had to minimize the time I spent with anyone who did not align with my goals. It was a lonely time and difficult not to follow the herd around me. And again, the factor that propelled my mindset and determination was online content. I listened to hundreds of hours of business podcasts and trainings, as well as self-help books and podcasts. I found people online that aligned with my goals and turned them into my inner circle. I fed on their energy as much as possible and listened to their stories. They have been where I am now and are where I want to be. It was proof of what I want to accomplish. After a year of opening my eyes to worlds of potential and using their energy to reprogram how I thought and how willing I was to take risk, I learned so much and also grew significantly as a person. Fast forward another year after taking many risks and pushing my comfort level further than I imagined I could, I found myself again fighting to put myself in surroundings that aligned with my goals. I eventually took the necessary steps to move to physical surroundings that served me better, which allowed me to meet more active people like myself, but also I got comfortable and fell away from my deeper personal goals. I had and still have yet to build an in-person inner circle that aligns with my greater goals, but I had also stopped supplementing my inner circle. I spent my time online listening to and watching simple entertainment rather than content that inspired me to keep bettering myself, to become strong and disciplined enough to make my dreams come true. I started to bring back the content I used to listen to. I also started to follow new figures, binging their content, and again, it started to boost my ambition and belief in myself. Now I'm entering 2024 swinging, rebuilding my ambition and discipline, including the goal of putting out 100 episodes of this podcast this year, which I will do. Again, it's not the best solution, but supplementing your inner circle, if you let it, can change your life and give you a solid push towards your goals. There are a lot of people that used to be where you are and are currently where you want to be. Someone has been there and done that despite how rare your goal is, and there more than likely is content about it. And you don't have to find people doing exactly what you want to do either. Find people who are also succeeding that make content and take what you can away from them to apply to your journey. If you're struggling to find people to spend time with that align with your goals like me, take an hour a day for the next week, objectively exploring online in search of positive influences. Follow as many people as you can. Absolutely overtake your social media feeds with new positive content. Then identify a few to really dig into their content. Take notes and reflect on how to implement their advice into your life. If it helps, break things into categories. Find an online mentor for each, such as a fitness influencer to help you stay on track with your fitness and health goals, a successful business owner in your industry you want to start a business in. Follow a couple online that have the sort of relationship you want with a significant other. Whatever areas of your life you want to focus on, find a positive online influence to immerse yourself in, and be sure to apply their advice in your own life. This is all about taking control of your life. Allow yourself to succeed and control what influences you. Supplement your inner circle when necessary and watch the positive impact it will have on your mindset. Maybe one day I'll make a list of some sort of positive influence I follow online to give people a head start in their search. But for now, I thank you for listening and would also appreciate any efforts to share the podcast. I want my content to help fill any positive void people may have in their life, and I need your help to do this. Give me a follow on Instagram as well at The Endurance Beast for a closer look into my personal journey, and I look forward to sharing the next episode.